No, I gave birth to my tampon. Are you joking? It was blood. Fuming. Puked everywhere. I keep wanting to drink that even though there's nothing in it. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, hello, my name is Sky, and at the time I'm filming this, I am 20 years old. So I sat down today and thought, it is perfect timing to be your big sister. Every time someone comes home. I think we're back. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I am not a professional. Everything I'm going to say, all the answers I'm going to give are literally from my own experience or all my own opinions, and you may have a different opinion, and that is a-okay. Another reason I wanted to film a video like this is because they helped me out so much when I was younger. I didn't have a lot of friends, or well, I didn't have friends that I could talk to about this, so I watched so many YouTube videos about topics like this, which gave me more understanding and helped me discover new things, so that's what I'm trying to do for you. I think there's one place to start, isn't there, really? What is your first period story? And subsequently, how did you tell your mum? I may be an absolute freak for knowing this, but I do remember the exact date. It was Saturday the 4th of May 2013. I was in year 7, hence I was 12 years old. A couple of months before this day, I went on holiday with my entire family, as in my entire family. It was that night before we flew that I had a bit of discharge, and it was the first time I'd had this discharge. And my mum obviously found out about the discharge, and she was like, oh, you know, you need to keep going to the toilet and making sure you haven't come on your period. Hence that's when we started really talking about it. I never really had sat down and had a conversation about it with my parents at all. I had the conversations at primary school when they taught it. Somebody's downstairs. Oh way. If you ever wonder why my videos go up late, this is why. Every time I try to film, I get interrupted, and then my software breaks when I'm editing, and nothing ever goes right, but here we are. Are you joking? Are you joking? The phone's ringing. Fuming. I'll be back again soon. I've absolutely had it. I've had it. It's just not meant to be this video. That's like 4 times I've been interrupted. And I'm still on the first question. Right. We were going on this big family holiday. I had a little bit of discharge, so I was sort of expecting my period, and it wasn't until a few months after that that I actually got my period. And to be honest, I think that's normal to get a little bit of discharge and then a few months later get your period, not a few days later. Although don't quote me on that because I haven't actually checked. I was at a bit of a weird time in my life. I was at my nana's house. I used to sleep at my nana's house every Friday night because she would take me to gymnastics on a Saturday morning, and I'd done gymnastics for about 2 years. I started it quite late, but doing gymnastics after I went to high school, I just wasn't enjoying it anymore because, you know, I'd be at school Monday to Friday and then would have to get up early on a Saturday morning to go to gymnastics, and then I just felt sick all of Saturday, and then my whole body just ached all of Sunday, and then it was, you know, back round Monday to Sunday again, and I felt like I never ever got a break because of gymnastics. So I was going through this weird time where I hadn't been to gymnastics in 2 weeks, and I was deciding whether I was going to quit or go back, and I actually decided that I was going to go back. So I slept at my nana's on this Friday night, intending to get up on the Saturday morning to go to gymnastics. However, that Friday night I was having aches, which I knew were period pains. Like, you can imagine what period pains are. If you haven't started your period yet, you know what a period pain is going to feel like. It's not a tummy ache. When you have it, you go, yeah, that's period pain. Or was that just me? So I woke up that morning, went to the toilet, and, you know, there was blood. Another aspect of this question is, how did you tell your mum? Well, I did not tell my mum because I was obviously at my nana's house, and I came out of the toilet and I just went to my nana. I said, I don't want to go to gymnastics anymore, and she was like, why? You're having cold feet, you're having second thoughts. And I was like, I think I've just started my period. And she was like, okay. She didn't have anything for me, I don't think. I don't recall anyway. So she just dropped me out back off at my house, and she told my mum that I'd started my period. I wasn't in the room when that happened. I remember I just got in and I just sat on the sofa and I just sat there like that. And my nana must have told my mum that obviously I'd started my period, and that was why I wasn't at gymnastics. Before this, my mum had said, like, if you don't go back to gymnastics, you can't go. If you miss 3 sessions, that's it, you're gone. And obviously I'd missed 2, but then because I didn't want to go because I'd just started my period, that was my 3rd, and I was like, that's the sign for me, I'm not doing gymnastics anymore. And that is why I quit gymnastics, and that is also my first period story time. Yeah. My mum must have given me some pads and maybe some tampons and just let me get on with it, with what I wanted to do. And this very conveniently leads on to the next question, which is, what do you use, pads or tampons? As a main thing, neither. Also overall, I use both. My answer is a menstrual cup. Just after Christmas of year 11 that I started using a menstrual cup because I'd asked for one for Christmas and my mum didn't buy me one, and I was really upset that I didn't get one because I kept thinking like, oh, I just have to get to Christmas and then I've got my cup and my life's sorted. I'd watched YouTube videos on it and I'd done a lot of research about a menstrual cup, and I felt like it was going to be the best thing for me. And then my mum didn't buy me one, but I actually did end up getting one, and to this day still what I use. Best thing ever, completely transformed my life. However, I do still use pads and I do still use tampons, so I will use a pad at night time, pretty standard. If I'm going to work, I'll use a menstrual cup. If I'm like just meeting up with some friends for like 2 hours, I'm not going to be somewhere designated for 8 hours, I'm only going to be 2 hours, I'll just put a tampon in. And the reason that I do try to avoid tampons is because I do not like them. Just last week I gave birth to my tampon in the toilet, went for a week and my tampon fell out and I had to fish it out of the toilet. Disgusting, actually disgusting. And I'm not the only person that it's happened to. That does happen to people where you give birth to your tampon. That does not happen with a menstrual cup. Well, it's never happened to me anyway. But yeah, tampons definitely not for me, not my favourite thing. And we will come back to stories about tampons later because it links in better to a different question. But overall, you know, pads or tampons, I would 100% have pads rather than a tampon, but I actually do use is a menstrual cup. Even when I was in school, so when I was like year 9, year 10, I used the biggest nighttime pads with the highest absorbency possible because I was so heavy. And I don't think I'm as heavy anymore, but I still am quite heavy. And my periods when I was younger used to last about 9-10 days. You know, they're a bit shorter now. Yeah, everything changes. So I used to have a very, very heavy period, which used to last a long time. However, when I was like year 9 age, I didn't have any cramps, I didn't really have any pain, everything was great. You know, I would just come on my period and be like, yeah right, I'm on my period, so what? Or if I did get cramps, it wasn't painful enough to need a painkiller, I just sort of noticed it was there but I could deal with it and move on. Question 3-ish. Are you regular? Now, yeah, if you asked me 6 months ago, no. It is totally normal, I think, to not be regular. However, it is also very dangerous and very scary to not be regular, and I think you sort of have to know the difference. I have been irregular in my life, and luckily I somehow now am more regular and I don't really know what changed. When I first started my period, I probably had my first one and then didn't have another one for about 2 months after that, and I remember getting really worried, even though I've only missed one period. I remember just being worried that I wasn't going to have another one and something wasn't right. And then also I didn't know when to be prepared for it, because if you know you're every 4 weeks, then you can prepare yourself when it's leading up to the time, whereas if you know you've missed one, you're just there like if you have a pad in at night just in case you come on because you don't want to ruin the bed and you're not regular, then you're just wearing a pad for no reason for 4 weeks until you get your next period, and it's a nightmare. It is. When you first start your period, I do think that's really normal. However, it is really scary, so you do need to have like an emergency kit with you at school in case you do come on. If you're not regular, you don't know when you're going to come on, so you definitely do need some sort of kit. I started work for the first time at supermarkets, so heavy lifting some things, you know, being a lot more active than just sitting at a desk in school, and I think that's what messed up my periods, going from sitting down all the time to being a lot more active. Even though I didn't really lose weight and my eating didn't really change, I did lose my periods. I had a period in September 2019 and then I did not have another one until the end of December, and I actually went for scans on my ovaries and things at the start of December time to see, you know, if something was wrong, and you know my ovaries looked fine, and so we didn't know why I wasn't getting any periods, and it was quite a scary time for me. And then I didn't have one again until February, and then I don't think I got one until May, and then I think they were regular after that. It was like May, June, July, August. Maybe it was like a week late, but I was getting one every month since then. But yeah, that was quite a scary time where I only had like 2 periods in the space of 6 months. That was quite worrying. Like I said, the only thing that could have caused that is me changing, me being so active, or whether it was just my age and it's normal and everybody goes through that. But that's why we're here. We're here to break the taboo. It's fine to talk about these things, it normalises it, and you know, if we can all share our own experiences, we know what's normal and what's more of a concern. Question 4. How bad are the pains? They can be pretty bad. Pretty bad, I'm not going to lie to you. As I was saying before, I pretty much didn't get any pains year 7, year 8, year 9, no pain, absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Got into year 10, got PMS, premenstrual syndrome. When I think about that pain, oh my days, some of the pains I've had purely due to periods, you literally wouldn't believe it was down to a period. I know people that have passed out from period pain, like it's in fainted, collapsed. They are bad. So in year 10, yeah, I got premenstrual syndrome. I literally had the worst backache. I could not sit in the class. I couldn't stand up, couldn't sit down. I was in constant pain, no matter whether I took painkillers or not. Just backache, not cramps, backache. Just you just see me doing this in class all the time, and it was embarrassing because everybody knew why I had backache. They didn't think I'd hurt my back. They all thought, oh, she's on a period, she's got backache. But I had backache all the time, and it was absolutely horrible. And then a couple of months after that, I think it was Christmas time, I had that bad cramps, not even backache. Yeah, I woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't get back to sleep, tried to ignore the pain, just get back off and go to sleep. Couldn't after about an hour, so I was like, right, I'm gonna get up and go to the toilet. Sat on the toilet, puked everywhere. Absolutely threw up from period pain. I've thrown up 2-3 times, I think, purely from cramps. And I'm not a person that throws up ever, really. Those are like the only times I've ever thrown up. The only other time I can think of is when I got absolutely steamed out by the iron, and a time when I ate waffles, which I seem to be intolerant to, because every time I eat a waffle I throw up. I don't be sick very often, so it was very unusual and quite scary for me to literally wake up in the middle of the night and be sick from period pain. The pains can be bad. That is all I'm going to say. If you do have bad period pains though, Cocodonol may be your very best friend. If I have actually split this video up into 2, then unfortunately this is the end of the video. There will be a part 2. I did not know how long this was going to be, so I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.